Talking to head football coach Joe Moorhead. Coach, I don't think anybody in the conference has played a more demanding non-conference schedule than you did. What about coming out of these 4 games and getting ready to play Mid-American Conference football?
Yeah, Kent will be close probably. They've had a tough run at it down there too. But yeah, we obviously through the non-conference part of the schedule, and hopefully we're healthy enough mentally and physically to get growing into MAC play here, and we'll start up practice this afternoon and get rolling, and prepare ourselves to head to Peden and Athens and face a really good football team.
You did enough good things against Ohio State, South Carolina, Rutgers to feel confident once you get a Mid-American Conference action, you can do some good things.
Yeah, I mean, and that's part of the challenge that you face with playing opponents of that caliber, and we just so take away the positives that we can from the things we did well in all 3 phases and work to build off of those.
Coach, can you speak on the chemistry between Adrian Norton and Ben Finley, how that might translate to MAC play?
Yeah, obviously Ben's been around the block, has played, at the Power 5 level, both at NC State and Cal, so brings a relative level of experience and maturity and leadership, and has worked a lot with the guys on his own. And Adrian's a guy that we recruited 2 years ago and knew had a ton of talent, and he finally got his opportunity. And obviously those 2 guys would. They've, as you mentioned, they developed a nice connection, and hopefully we continue to see more of it throughout the season.
Your defense once again came out, giving up a 3-and-out against South Carolina, Power 4 school. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, it was good to get off the field in the first series and force them to punt. I wish we could have had some more of those, but yeah, it was good good execution, good third down stop, and they just, like I said, as the game wears on, they kind of lean on you a little bit, and that's what happened in the game.
You've got Ohio University Saturday down in Peden Stadium. Played them last year. How good are the Bobcats, and what do you have to do down there to be successful?
Yeah, I think a 10-win program for the last 2 or 3 years, and Coach Albin has done a fantastic job continuing the tradition built by Coach Solich. Athens and Peden, always a difficult place to play. Hasn't served the Zips well over the years. I think I remember maybe our first year here or second year here, I think it was a 31-19 win. Johnny Long caught a touchdown pass in the right corner of the end zone from Charlie Fry. But yeah, I mean, they are talented, they're well coached, they're disciplined, they're tough, they play great complementary football, and you gotta have a great week of practice. You gotta play with fanatical effort, and most importantly, we gotta see our level of execution improve.
Was there a benefit to keeping Ben Finley in against Power 4 competition up until 4 minutes left to go against the Gamecocks?
Against South Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a difficult decision to make where you're trying to balance the competitive aspect of it and wanting to gain confidence through moving the ball and scoring points, and then when is enough time that you don't want to risk injury, not just to Ben but to anybody. And the game plan was really comprised of quick RPOs and getting the ball out of our hand and trying to minimize some of the hits he would take against that ferocious pass rush. But in hindsight, it was a good decision because he didn't get hurt. But certainly you can make the argument that maybe a series or 2 earlier, with how we were playing offensively in the second half, to get him out of there. But it was good to see Taj come in and move the ball a little bit and get some first downs, because he plays 2 roles really: the 2 QB package, and then I'm sure we'll need him at some point throughout the year, being the primary guy.
Coach, you mentioned the Zips haven't fared well at Ohio. I think it's been 20-ish years since we won it in Athens. Is that something that's on your mind, or something you're using for extra motivation during this week?
I wouldn't say using it as extra motivation, but we always like to point out things that are part of the story and part of the process, and that's part of it. I mean, to ignore it and stick your head in the sand, I mean, that's just not smart, because the kids need to know. And but we always talk about controlling the controllables, and that's not it being their homecoming game, not being a place the Zips haven't played well over the years, But if we prepare well enough and know our assignments and play with great effort and, execute our scheme better than they do, then, the game just this year matters, right? History, like they say, last week doesn't matter this week, last year doesn't matter this year. But at a certain point, a trend's a trend.